Hey there, Trailblazers, I hope you guys are all doing well. So most of you guys probably clicked on this video since you want to know about the kit details for the new male 5-star character ANAXA, and also want to know more about his character role and how he works during actual gameplay, right? Well, you have come to the right video. Because today we're going over some newly released information about ANAXA's kit, and also his possible release date. Additionally, we also have some small bit of updated kit info for CASTORICE, which we'll cover in this video as well. But before we begin, let me just give you guys a quick little disclaimer that everything in this video is based on speculations from various different sources and may not turn out to be 100% accurate. With that out of the way, let's begin without wasting any more of your time. Since the majority of the new information we have received is about ANAXA, let's go over him first before moving on to the other character info for CASTORICE. Before we go over the new info for ANAXA, let's first briefly go over his basic character info for those people that don't already know about it. So according to the old info we have received last month, ANAXA is a new ice element character that follows the path of nihility. His playable version uses the LAD model, which is the same type of model used on characters like Danhung, for example. According to a source that posted some new information about him just yesterday, who stated that he was told that ANAXA is going to be either an off-field or out-of-turn damage dealer, which is basically just a form of damage that happens outside a character's turn, which can either be follow-up attacks like with characters like Fei Xiao or Dr. Ratio, for example, or additional ice damage dealt at the beginning of the enemy's turn, which, by the way, is not to be confused with damage over time, since DOTs are considered separate effects from the actual elemental damage dealt to enemies. It's more in line with something like the additional physical damage dealt from Robin's ultimate, for example. But rather than being triggered by ally attacks, it's instead triggered at the start of the enemy's turn. Additionally, ANAXA also has the ability to decrease the all-type resistance penetration for every enemy present on the field, which basically lowers the enemy's damage resistance stats to all elements and makes them take way more damage from your units. All in all, I think ANAXA will be a hybrid unit between a sub-DPS and also a debuffing nihility support, judging from all the current information we know so far about his kit, and depending on how good the application rate for his debuffs are. He could be used as another best-in-slot debuffing support for Acheron teams for charging her ultimate similar to Jiaoqiu, while also dealing great off-field ice damage depending on how his actual multipliers turn out. Additionally, if he does turn out to have some kind of special damage over time effect in his kit, he could also slot in well with the current Kafka DOT teams. But hey, that's just my own speculation for now. As for ANAXA's release date, according to some very reliable sources, ANAXA is expected to release in the second phase of version 3.2 alongside the banner for CASTORICE. So that's basically all of the information we know so far about ANAXA. Next up, let's take a look at the new additional info we have gotten for CASTORICE. Starting with her basic character info. According to the previous info we know about her, CASTORICE is stated to be a quantum element character that follows the path of remembrance, and serves the role of a main damage dealer in your party, along with having some sub-DPS capabilities as well. Her memo sprite is the huge, scary-looking dragon that we saw in the Amphorius trailer, who shares the same purple color palette as her and has the ability to shoot a large laser beam type attack. We also know that CASTORICE is meant to be run with very low speed, as her new upcoming signature relic set gives a massive 40% crit rate buff if the equipping character has less than 95 points of speed, and a decent 20% crit rate buff if they have less than 110 points of speed. This means that action advance units like Sunday will be best in slot supports for CASTORICE, as he will be able to give both her and her dragon memo sprite way more turns than they would normally get due to CASTORICE being forced to run with low speed stats. As for the new information we just received about her, according to the same source that gave out the kit info for ANAXA, CASTORICE will also have a stackable self-buff in her kit, which are called butterfly nodes. These butterfly nodes can either stack an unknown amount of buffs or decrease them. I am guessing these stacking buffs will give her some kind of offensive boost such as damage percent, attack percent, or some kind of other damage-related buff. Although I don't see the reason for the buffs being decreased by her ability. But it could either just be referring to the buffs expiring after a set amount of turns, or decreasing a set amount of the buffing stacks allows her to activate some parts of her kit, such as an enhanced basic attack or a skill. But hey, that's just my own speculation, so please don't take it all that seriously. So that's all the new information we have about both ANAXA and CASTORICE for now. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep yourself up to date with all the latest HSR news and information. That's it for now, so I'll see you in the next video.